Hi there, thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Catherine. I make journals out of old books, books that are their next place in life is most likely going to be the burn pile or the recycle center. I find them at thrift stores and secondhand shops and yard sales and church sales. I find them anywhere I can find old secondhand books that are just falling apart and need new love and need a new purpose in life. So that's for the people who are new here. Now, you might be thinking, we've seen that book before. Haven't we seen that book before? Yes, you have. I initially was going to first try and just simply sell it in Canada because I hadn't made a decision yet on how to deal with what was going to be happening with the tariff situation between Canada shipping and selling things to the US, etc. It seems that for now, for little things like this, it's okay. My challenge now is that our postal service is on strike. So that left me with things to do because I finished Ada Jane in my absence here on YouTube. I have been working. I've been splitting my time between working on junk journals and really enjoying getting out my my watercolors and pen and ink, and I treated myself to some alcohol markers, and I've been working on playing around with just loose sketches with watercolors, alcohol markers, mixed media sort of thing, getting I was going to call them pencil crayons. Canadians, at least old generation Canadians, called them pencil crayons. They apparently are known around the world now as colored pencils. But if you ask anyone of a certain age and older, we grew up calling them pencil crayons. So there, once again, I'm showing my age, but I've been playing around with them and having fun. So, and you know what? Mostly just taking a bit of a break from social media. And it's been nice. I've got to tell you, as much as I missed you, I do miss you all because I love chatting with you, especially down in the comments there. So be sure and say hi if you feel like it down below, and I'll say hi back. Anyhow, yeah, little Miss Ada Jane, she's all done. I made a wrap for her out of this old doily that's an unusual shape. Let me untie it. I'm not going to do a flip through yet. I will do a thorough tour through Miss Ada Jane when our postal strike is over with and I know that I can put her up for sale and ship her. So, you know, whether she gets sold. I usually stick to North America. It's easier for me as far as shipping and costs and keeping the cost down for purchasers. It just is. Unfortunately, here in Canada, our shipping is quite expensive. And that would simply be passed on to purchasers around the world. And it also it's just something right now my brain can't wrap itself around doing the math of shipping that far internationally. I'm comfortable with my neighbors to the US shipping there. I'm used to that, but for now I stick to North America. Anyhow, yeah, it's an unusual shaped doily. Not sure what it was made for or used for, but it's, anyhow, I just thought, you know what, that makes a nice sort of little extra wrap. And so I added some seam binding and some lace and sewed it on. And you might think, Catherine, could you just take a minute to iron that? I purposefully chose not to. I wanted it to look kind of scraggly and worn out and wrinkled and scruffy looking. So, you know, the new owner, if they want to press that, they can go right ahead and press it, but I'm not. Anyhow, she is all done, and she is so pretty. She's full of genuine ephemera and faux ephemera, and I just love the way she turned out. So she will be eventually, oh, there's all my information for her, just so I don't forget. Because it's been quite a while since I completed her, and when I do her, when finally the time comes to do her flip through, which I suppose I could do ahead of time. Maybe that's something I could put on my to-do list and just save it and keep it handy for when finally they announce that the strike is over. Then I'll know how many pages and all the pertinent information on Miss Ada Jane. So she's done. And that left me with, well, what to do now? Do I start a new journal? And then I thought, and I remembered this one that I had been calling Once Upon a Time because of that beautiful picture on the front. It's actually Emerson's Complete Prose and Works. And I forget what year it is. 1891, so it's old. And I intended initially to sell it as a scantily clad journal, but I figured since Canada Post is not posting, I would take the time, and I've been using what was going to go in her. I was going to send her with a goodie package, and since I got time on my hands, I've been having fun decorating her. So right now I'm mostly just making sure that each signature has 1 or 2 tuck spots / pockets. And there's my challenge is, because I thought she was done, I had taken all the little these things, Post-it notes. There we go. I knew my brain would find it. I had taken the Post-it notes off, and now it's challenging because I have to look up top, find the signature, and then go through it and see if it has enough pockets and tags. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for 7 signatures. So yes, I've got 1 pocket there in. That's good. And you might be looking at it thinking, I haven't seen that, Catherine. When did you do that? Like I said, I've been working on it. Okay, so it does need another one, I think. I don't think this one has any pockets. There's Mr. Waldo Emerson himself. I don't know whether Waldo was one of his last names, whether he was one of those people with 2 last names, or whether Waldo was his middle name. Ralph Waldo Emerson. That was in the original text block. Okay, so there's none in here. Let's see. Now, this is one of those cards, the old-fashioned cards that were a sheet of paper folded, that I have left as is so that the new owner, if they wish, they can use an X-Acto knife and open it up to make extra pages for journaling, because that's blank in there and this is mostly blank. Or else they can run a little bead of glue along the bottom there and make a tuck spot. So I don't know whether I'll consider that oh, I got one there. Whether I'll count that as a pocket or not. No, let's put a pocket in. Probably put a pocket on one of these pages with the calculator. I love that. That's a calculator. When I think of the calculator, we all have them in our phones now. There's the other side of that card. Okay, so it needs another one. And here's my tricky part is not making it too bulky. And sometimes the best way around that is to do tuck spots. All right, so that doesn't have any either. I guess each signature doesn't have to have 2 tuck spots because some have rusted paper clips, and that's as good as a tuck spot. The paper clip can also hold. Maybe for now I'll focus and make sure that each signature has at least 1 tuck spot. So that one doesn't have any either. I got my work cut out for me. 1, 2. Ah, there's one. This is a tuck spot. This is 1940s wallpaper from Miss Nancy. So that's a little tuck spot, so that sort of counts. Okay, and then 7. See what I mean? A rusty paper clip, that counts. All right. Oh, that one's got one. You know what? I wanted that a little darker. That's one of those vellum stickers, but I want it a little darker. It doesn't look old enough, and I should have inked it before I glued it down. That's a little better. All right, so there we go. Now I know how many. I know I wrote down somewhere how many pages are in this book. Hold on, I'm going to find it. I knew I had written it down. So there's 194 pages in this journal. That's a nice sized journal. All right. When it was going to go as a scantily clad journal, I was going to also send along this little bundle of lace, and I think I'll leave it be. I'll leave it intact and send it anyways. So there's lots of there's vintage and there's antique in here, and yeah, vintage. So that will still go as is. All right, so we need at least 3 more tuck spots or pockets. I was thinking of making these ladies into a tuck spot. They are from the Girls' Own Annual, 1888. So I'm going to find some of my Alice paper and we can glue this down. There we go. I've got oodles of Alice paper, thanks to Alice. She keeps me well stocked. It's just leftovers, I believe, from her office when they were cleaning up and it was going to go in their recycling. And she knew that it would make great backing for junk journaling. And she had scads to share. I like it because it's nice and sturdy, because usually my go-to is old file folders. But I like these, my Alice ones. I just call them that because Alice gave them to me. I like these because they're just a little bit lighter in weight than file folders. So that means less bulk. There we go. Let me come up a bit. Oh, no, not down. Up. There we go. That's better. Now, I'm going to I think I will leave this little title down here, 3 New Styles in Headgear. Just because that's kind of fun. Now I'm looking for my pencil. There we go. I've written 1888 over here. That was, again, going to be for the new owner so that they can do what they want with it. Oh, 1888. I almost wrote 1988. 1888. But that's going to get trimmed off. So, there we go. I think if I wasn't already starting to get bulky, because of course I did lace overload, I just did, I would be tempted to sew around the edges of this. I gotta clean that up, but I'm not going to, because even stitching around the edge will make it thicker, will bulk it up. So I'm going to leave it as is. But I will use the fingernail trick, go around it afterwards and just sort of pick at the corners and see if they lift. And if they do, I'll just put a little dab of, oh, I got some under my nails. I put a little dab of art glitter glue under there. But for the most part, when you're dealing with really thin old papers, a glue stick is just a nicer version to use. There's less water in it, so it's less likely to buckle or leave marks of where it was. Like, you can usually spot the trail of glue if you use even art glitter glue or Fabri-Tac or any kind of like a tacky glue. You'd spot that. You'd see the snake movement of the glue underneath. So that's why, much as I don't trust our glue sticks, they are handy. And there are some that are better than others. Nancy got me onto this one. It's Target. Thank goodness a few years ago, when my son was down in the States visiting family, I said, can you bring me back some Target glue sticks? And he said, sure, I can do that for you, Mom. And he brought me back enough for years. He's a good boy. So, thank goodness. Thank goodness he did. He's a good boy. I've got lots of Target glue for the time being. Oh, I might as well just take that right off. I'm going to put this aside. I have a feeling we'll be gluing a few more things down. I just want that little line. I like it. So I'm aiming to just get close enough so that that little line still shows. It's almost time to treat myself to one of these new cutting boards, one of these Fiskars. I tried quite a few cutting boards in my day, and everyone has their own particular one that they like for whatever reason. And this is the one I like. I like that it has a round wheel, so it's less likely to tear old papers. And I never use this thing. That's why I've got it taped down. There's an arm that comes out to hold longer papers. I never use it. So, but the arm would fling out at inopportune moments. So I finally just taped it down so that I don't have to worry about it anymore. But I've used it so much that, as you can see, I'm wearing off the grid lines, and I use those grid lines. They are handy. And this rubber padding here can be pulled out and flipped around because the blade does leave those lines in there. And I've flipped it four times now. I'm out of flips. So that's not bad. Okay, I'm just going to, guess what? I've got a little girl in her little, she's got a little bed under my standing table. My little furry friend. And I know she's going to be wanting her lunch soon. For me, it's almost lunchtime. Well, for her too. And she gets 3 meals a day and a little snack right before bed. She's got a really sensitive little system. And if her tummy gets too empty for too long, it makes her sick. So she does much better. Instead of 1 or 2 big meals a day, she gets 4 little meals a day. Very little one at bedtime, but just enough to get her through the night so that she doesn't throw up in the night. The empty stomach, just, I think the stomach acid builds up. There we go. I just wanted to do those corners. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, I like those ladies. Where'd I put my lid? There it is. All right, so what did we say? 2. Let's pick a page in 2. This is where I would have depended on my tabs if I hadn't taken the tabs out. Now, I like a strong page. This is an original text block, so because it's from 1891, it's very fragile. So I won't be using that. All right, well, it needs to be one of these. It's a big pocket. I think I'm going to do an L shape rather than, sometimes it's just so difficult to get tags in and out when a page is pocket is that big. Nope. Okay, well, this is it. So do I want this side or this side? Let's do this side. Let's do a little bit of stenciling. Hold on. I've got oodles of these are from Dollar Tree. So, and they're restickable. So let's just put that down. And, do I want to use brown or do I want to use a color? No, let's go with just a nice soft This is just good old vintage photo. I think I need a smaller brush. I'm going to find one. There we go. Just in case, I don't want to go over the edge. I have been buried in, because I don't watch the news, I've been buried in watching The Crown all over again since King Charles visited us last week, which was very nice that he made time, especially he's not well, so that was nice of him to come and do the throne speech in Parliament here. Although we have our own government, our own elections, etc. in Canada, we have our own Prime Minister and make our own laws, we're still part of the Commonwealth, so he is our king. So I thought that was very nice of him to take the time and come over here and spend a couple days with us. All right, now I wonder if I still need to go down there or if the pocket will cover it. Look at that, I went all the way down and it really didn't need to. I wonder if I should just simply make that a smaller pocket. I think I need to make it smaller because that way there's more journaling room here and there's room. Yep. So hopefully nobody's yelling at their screen right now saying, "No, Catherine, don't do it," because all that time I took to make sure I saved those black lines are going. The black lines are going. There we go. So yeah, I thought he did a very nice job. It's interesting, the throne that he sat on, we have monarch thrones in our parliament. Only, from what I understand, 2 people are allowed to sit in the throne. The monarch themselves, so for years it was Elizabeth, or in place of the monarch, the Governor General of Canada, who is the Queen's representative in Canada. So from what I understand, that's how it works. So otherwise they just are there waiting for the next visit. I wonder what I might do. Perhaps I'll still save that. I'm going to use this as tape to hold it down. You'll see. You'll see. Now, actually, that doesn't get used. And then this could go along the bottom. 3 new styles in headgear. Maybe across the top. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, that's what we'll do. And then it won't get wasted. All right. Where there's a will, there's a way. So the throne he sat upon, at first I thought, oh, the poor guy, he's barely been king long enough. The throne had ER2, the Queen's, I forget the word for it that they use, because each monarch is allowed to choose theirs. Even Camilla has one as queen consort. Anyhow, so his throne at the top said ER2. But it turned out, from what I heard, it will stay that way until a new throne is needed. There was a throne in Parliament that had Victoria's, not signature, but see, the name is evading me. It had Victoria's for years. But then the chair needed to be replaced, new ones built, and that was during the reign of Elizabeth. So it's Elizabeth's insignia. Is that the word I'm looking for? Is at the top. So he actually was sitting on the appropriate throne. And so someday when he passes, William will sit on the throne that has his grandmother's insignia on it, because they're apparently relatively new. And I suppose Kate, or Princess, I don't think she goes by Princess Catherine, does she? She's the Duchess of Cornwall? No, Wales. Princess of Wales. There we go. New styles in headgear. And then the 1888 is still there. There. Okay. Where there's a will, there's a way. Let's put this here. Yes. Now I do think I will, now that it's shorter, I will make it into a full pocket. Yes, I did. Hubby's at work today, even though you're watching this on a Sunday. It's Saturday, but he's at work today. He works one weekend a month. So he's at work. There we go. He's a good boy. I never feel sad for him because he loves his work. His father started the company over 50 years ago, and he loves it as much as his dad did. He goes to work with a spring in his step. Loves that little company, and he loves the challenge, and you know what? I think that's good for him. Keep him young. His father worked right up until, I think, 6 months before he passed away, and he was like 86. He went in every day. He didn't put in a full day. Usually he was only in for a few hours, but he went in. And I can see my sweetie pie doing that. Oh, let's put a 1 there. So now I'm going to need to be able to. I'm going to need a tab in there. I'm just going to put that for now so that I know to put something in it. I like how that turned out. I think that's rather nice. So, and look at that. It's 33 minutes. All that, and I made a pocket. Oh, well. You know me. That's usually what you get. A whole lot of chatter and a tiny bit of work. That's the way it is. So I'm going to get going. But thanks for joining me today. And again, if you're still here, say hi down below. And I'll say hi back. And hopefully I won't take so long. I think it's been 3 weeks. Hopefully I won't take so long to catch up. Maybe later on today, after I feed you-know-who her lunch, I'll come back up and I'll make a second one, make some more pockets, and then maybe put it up, tomorrow or the day after, just to sort of spread it out a bit. All right, I'm going to go. Take care. I hope you're all safe and healthy and that your loved ones are too. We'll get together soon. I promise. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just kind of slacking off lately. Bye.